Okay, out again. Well, I say again, but been out once with this, and the second time this is going to be out with it. And going to do a little review of the Daystate Delta Wolf. This one is in 0.25 cal, high power, FAC rated. I'm going to be doing a little bit of zeroing and stuff today, get it all lined up and everything how it should be. From reading online, everyone seems to say, mainly Americans guys seem to say, that it prefers its JSB King Heavy Mark IIs going out about 880 feet per second, which is better for longer range apparently. So I'm going to give that a go in a minute, but I just thought I'll just take you briefly through the rifle. I mean, I know people have seen this now and you know they know all the bits and bobs what goes with it, but I'll just take you through what my rifle has got here. So let's start at the front here. That is a 0 dB sound moderator with an adapter that Daystate kindly sent my RFD, or they sent it to me pretty quick actually. I was expecting maybe a couple of weeks to wait for it, but they sent it straight away because it wasn't with the gun when it come packed. So when it turned up at the RFD, you've got a shrouded barrel inside of which is the chronograph, which you can turn on, turn off. I'll go into that a little bit later. I have got the PRS ARCA rail, and I was a little bit apprehensive about getting one until I did a little bit of research, because I did notice that apparently some of the early production ones had a bit of flex there, but this one, well, this gun's moving a bit, but it's not moving the way, you know, anything else doesn't move, so it's working very well. It's got its barricade stop on there, and it just screws up into the existing action. Nice pistol grip. I'm thinking about changing that, but I want to see how I get on with it because it's all early days anyway. Sorry, let's move the camera here. Two-stage trigger, and that trigger is very similar to the Red Wolf, but for some reason I prefer this trigger to the Red Wolf. It's just got that something about it. It's a little bit more of a tension there. I have adjusted my Red Wolf trigger, but this one has come factory set and it's pretty much perfect. So I'm not going to touch that, not yet, I won't. So going to the rear here, obviously that's your touchscreen, and you get that to work by turning the gun on to fire. I always put it back in the safe anyway, and I'll go into it a bit more in a minute, but at the moment I've got it set to the factory settings for a 33.95 grain pellet. Barrel's 23 inches, and the setting tells you at first to set to 945 feet per second, but I'm going to try 880, and I'm going to see how long it takes for the gun, because the gun will do everything it can to try and match that velocity that's been inputted. It works in a, well, I suppose real world data, if that's what you want to call it. So I'm getting my head around that anyway, so that's okay. Got the PRS stock buttstock on there. That works really well, and it's fully adjustable. I kind of do wish I did buy a bag rider on it, but I think I can just get that from PRS anyway. Got a cheek riser on here, so that bit comes off. I think they can go up and down. This bit comes off, and then you can slide it back forward and back to match the size of your cheeks. You've got fat cheeks like me, then you might need a little bit lower and a little bit further in. Doesn't matter. See what you get on with. And obviously it comes with this Picatinny rail that slides on a dovetail that you can adjust, give yourself a decent amount of eye relief on it. I fitted the Titan, as you know already from the other little intro I did back along, and a Vortex Spirit level with some Eagle Vision Infinity one-piece adjustable mounts. They're very good. I'll say just as it's turning itself off. I think you can change that. You can change that from being on for 30 seconds to a minute to, right, you know, if you're a bench rest shooter or whatever, or if you're hunting and that and you don't want it to keep doing that, you can turn it off for whatever time you like. I think up to a certain limit. Obviously that means that the battery's gonna go down quicker, but from my experience so far with these, the batteries do seem to last very well. They prefer it being taken out and being charged with a Red Wolf charger. If you've got a Red Wolf, we can get one from Daystate. I do believe you can probably buy these chargers. They're airsoft and radio controlled car batteries, so you could probably buy the charger anyway, from anywhere, without paying a little bit more from Daystate. But obviously I think that comes into warranty and stuff possibly, but I have to look that one up. Don't take my word for it. Yeah, so the rifle, I had a go on it. Yeah, well, last Saturday probably, and it blew my mind. I was just playing around with the different velocities. You know, you don't need the velocities that it can give you. When we get into moving slugs and stuff, then possibly I will mess about with velocities more, but at the moment I'm just sticking to factory settings and changing the velocity down or up, so to see what the accuracy is like. And that's what I'll be doing when I do a bit of range work in a little while. Just to say about the battery as well, that's the charging point there, C-type USB. Very good. There's been a few couple people saying that they don't like the way there's a little plug that fits into it. It can fall out and disappear. I'm a bit like, well, everyone's got a mobile phone, everyone's got a smartphone these days, and there's no plug for that USB port, you know, and people use their phones in all sorts of environments, and it doesn't really go wrong. Yes, it will go wrong if it gets wet, but you know, I do sort of think that maybe this is okay as it is, but I'm pretty sure if you lose that little tab that covers this, you're going to definitely be able to buy one online, Amazon or eBay or whatever, and replace that, you know, for pennies. Just one gripe with this, and I don't think it's much of a gripe really. The buttstock, when it slides into this, into the composite stock, there's a slight bit of movement. I spoke to Gavin at PRS, and he told me that obviously they make their stuff to a certain amount of tolerances, but this is plastic composite, and fitting metal to that can be a little bit problematic with movement and stuff. So I shimmed it with some foil tape, and that stopped the movement there. So I recommend do the same. That's if your rifle does it. I've never heard this before, but it wasn't until I spoke to Gavin that he told me that the rifle has that problem, or it seems to be inherent with Delta Wolves, but I'm pretty damn sure they're going to sort that one out anyway, so it's not really a gripe, and it's something you can easily remedy at home. Got my ACCU-TAC LG 110 bipod fit to that from Optics Warehouse, very nice. I don't think I need to buy another bipod anymore, and you know, they're just bomb-proof construction. Deserves a review in itself, really. So right, I am going to now fire some groups off and do a little bit of range work. Right, bomb magazine up. Gonna just shoot a few groups here, see if knocking it back down a little bit in velocity has helped group size. That's it. Yep. Okay, let's go and have a look at that group. Okay, had a little play around and stuff after that little group you just saw. Yeah, it looks like a mess, but what I did, I put the tune from 880 for the King Heavy Mark IIs, and sometimes I'm getting a nice group like that, that's 5, and then I'm getting a group like that. This is all with the King Heavy Mark IIs. And then I'm getting a group like that, 3 on there, and then for some reason 2 go off like that. I don't know. But these are the King Heavy Mark 1s, and that is 10 shots. I mean, that's one of my little fingernails. That's my thumb. That's 10 shots, basically nearly under a thumbnail at 65 yards. And I think obviously the Mark 1s for some reason have a better ballistic coefficient than the Mark 2s, and maybe they just prefer my magazine. It's all magazine loading today as well. The Delta Wolf doesn't have a single shot loader available. I think Calm magazines are making one, or it's in a test phase, so maybe I'll purchase one of them, because I do believe that as everyone knows, firing single shot is much more accurate than firing magazine. But I mean, that at 65 yards, and well, there's a bit of wind today. Well, you can see that moving about, yeah. So that tells me that the Delta Wolf, my Delta Wolf, likes these, and that is at 890 feet per second. That's the set I set it to, with a reg pressure at 171. I'm not getting into reg pressure and changing anything like that yet until I get used to the rifle, and you know, so I don't mess up 2.5 grand's worth of equipment. So what I'm going to do now, I'm probably going to push the ranges out now, see what it's like at 100, and then go from there. Okay, I've had a little play. Going to get my excuses in early, obviously because there's a little bit of wind, but it's sort of dropped down a bit. So what I'm going to do is just take you through some of the factory settings and how you can adjust them by just using this computer. So what I did, my original plan was I wanted the velocity at 880. As you can see there, that's the preset. That's what I've set it to, and all the rest of that tells you what caliber or pellet weight. And then you've got the reg pressure up there. And so the way to get through this is check your bolts back, safety catch, turn it on. I always put it back to safe straight away, so the computer's fired up. The computer's fired up anyway, but press and hold until the padlock disappears. And what you can do, so 880 is a little bit too fast. Sorry, not 880. 890 is what the actual velocity is coming out on. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go into factory settings. Yep, there's your 2.5 caliber. Barrel is 23 inches. There's your 33.95 grain. So all this is already in already. And I'm going to drop the velocity down. I told you in another video it's great because it's fat finger proof. I'm going to put 870, lock that in. So there it tells me actual pressure is 179. It says set your regulator pressure to 170. I'm not going to do that now, basically because I don't know how to yet, but I will learn how to do it and get into that. Maybe do that in another little mini video or something. But so I'm going to set that, and that's now set to 179 bars on the reg. I filled up with air, so there's about 230, 240 bar in there. And I'm going to fire a group now and see how that performs by knocking it back down just another 10 feet per second, see if that's made any difference to the group sizes. Okay, as I said in one of my other videos with the S20, you know, small things make me happy. So there's a joke there somewhere. I just fired this group here, 5 rounds with the JSB Mark 1s. They do have a better ballistic coefficient at 890 feet per second, and that there, well, it's not under a thumbnail, is it? I mean, that's obviously me there, but that in wind, I'm pretty bloody happy with that. That was my point of aim there. So the validation's a little bit out, but I'm not here to validate and stuff. I just want to shoot groups, and bloody hell, I'm impressed with that. That's my thumbnail there, so that gives you an idea of how big. Maybe what, an inch and a bit, just over an inch. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3. There it is, 1, 2, 3 in a group there, and then these outside ones, but bloody hell. And that's without even really tuning the rifle. I know Daystate have set theirs up pretty good with these settings, and I definitely think my rifle prefers the Mark 1's JSBs, King Heavies, but that's without really wasting a load of pellets and trying. I'm gonna probably try the 25 grain ones now, but I mean, Christ. Okay, excuse the sun, I'm gonna try and blank it out for you there. What I'm gonna do now is change my pellets. The Mark 1's perform very well, but my normal go-to pellet I normally use most of the time with my Red Wolf is 25 grain, 25.39 JSB Kings, and they've performed faultlessly. Probably out to about 80 yards, I would say that they're dead on accurate for me. I can obviously go in with the Delta Wolf. I'm going to change the velocity up to as well. We'll see how high as it goes and see what happens. It might group, it might not, but today is just having a look at the settings and stuff, and just go through a few things. As obviously it's a review, but people need to see what the gun can do and can't do, you know, so we'll go from there. So what we're going to do now, gun's turn itself off, put it back to fire, make sure the bolt's open, back to safe, do that thing in, yep, till that disappears, and then we're going to go into factory settings again. 25 cal, 22 inch barrel. Right, we're going to go to 25.39 grain. Press that, we want that. Right, so it's telling me the speed at the moment is going to be 1040. I don't know whether or not to try that. I know I normally shoot 920 feet per second with the 25 grain ones, but different barrels and all that, you know, it might work. So what we'll do, we'll say yes to that. Actual pressure is 179 bar, or the reg. It says to set the pressure to 175. Well, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do that in a separate video, and I might do some little shorts myself and just show little bits and bobs of the rifle. The thing is, this gun is so infinite. It's so vast with everything you can do with it. I don't think I'm going to get it all in one review, and you'll probably just turn off anyway. So what I'll do is, yep, set that there. Right now it's the active set, so 1040 feet per second, 25 grain active. Yep, that's it. Right, let's have a shoot. Okay, JSB 25 grain, 25.39 grains Kings at 1040 feet per second, so 100-yard target. Let's see what happens, shall we? That's it. Right, let's go have a look at that group. It looks pretty promising, so I'm a little bit excited. Okay, if you ask the missus, do small things amuse me? She'll probably say yes, and this amuses me as well. That's 7 or 8 shots on top. I did have to do a little bit of aiming off, obviously, because there's different velocities and going on and stuff, but I am bloody happy with that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 on target, and that's at 1040 feet per second. The other day when I went shooting, when I first got the Redata Wolf, I wasn't really too impressed with that, but I think again the barrel's conditioned a little bit more, a lot more lead gone down it and stuff, so I think it's only going to get more accurate, but I am happy with that. Okay, that was the range work for the day. Not a huge amount. I just need to really get used to this rifle and get shooting it more. But from what I do know, the settings that Daystate provide are just so infinitely variable. You can just tune this, tune that. You can tune it. I think this rifle does everything other than make a cup of tea, but that'd be nice. I will get out on the slugs. I was going to go out today, but the weather's not really that great. It's a bit breezy, and I want to try and eliminate as many variables as possible, including myself. So I might have to get someone else to shoot, but no, I'm going to try and shoot some slugs. I was told by somebody on the Airgun Nation forum that the 29.5 grain Nielsen slugs work very well, but the problem is I'm in the UK and I think there's only one supplier at the moment. Hopefully, as slugs become more popular, we'll see more of that. There are the Daystate juggernauts, but you've got to buy 10 tins, and that's just ridiculous. So until they come out amongst the local RFDs and gun shops or whatever, I won't be buying 10 tins to find out they don't work, which I doubt they don't work in this rifle, but time will tell. There's obviously a couple British manufacturers that make the slugs themselves as well, so I'm going to be looking to order some more from them guys and see how the rifle performs. Just one more thing that I just want to touch on briefly with rifle before I go. There's been a lot of conversation online about, is this the bronze, is it CERAKOTE, is it the CERAKOTE Action, or is it anodized? And I can tell you wholeheartedly, I have CERAKOTE at home on another rifle. This rifle is definitely CERAKOTE, so it is, you know, your weather resistant coating and that, and it's very nice. So yes, I will be getting out on a slug soon, so see ya.